Alright, so a while ago I picked up this socket 8 motherboard. It did not have a Pentium Pro. I added this later. And I'm going to use this whole setup as a test for random components that I have, so I'm going to build a junk computer more or less. But first I need to see if these components work. So let's just take a look at this, see what it has. It was made in January 24th, 1997. It's got unused wavetable and CD-ROM audio slots. Let's see here, what else does it have? It's got unused USB slots. I'm assuming that's USB 1.0 given 1997. There should be a 200 megahertz Pentium Pro. It looks like this is also unused. Not sure what that would go for. So a lot of features on this motherboard that were not implemented in the final release. First things first, I'm going to install it on this cheap test bench I have. Actually, it looks like it's working out a little bit better than I anticipated. Now I have to add a fan. Getting a fan for one of these has been the biggest issue I've had so far. Luckily I found this socket 8 fan here. It's only got 2 pins though. Next up for the graphics, I have this Matrox video card. Never used this before. And if this works, I might track down a Voodoo 1 or something to interface for 3D. As you can see here, it has this unusual port that I have no idea what it was used for. It's quite a nightmare already. However, I've got lots of RAM to choose from. I got these in a collection of old ISA cards I bought that are just sort of thrown in, so no idea if they work. That's part of the fun of this experiment. So let's just put in, let's see, Samsung. How much is this? Let's see if I got a label on any of these here. Well, I have 2 of those, so let me try that. I just have to figure out how to connect the power to it. Okay, looks like we got power LED speaker, infrared, power on, reset switch. Okay, it's looking good now. Okay. Move that. That'll probably help. Okay. Not getting anything. Oh, this is an absolute mess. Try it again. Okay. According to the manual, that is a bad memory error, so let's go ahead and see if we can eject this, but in a different one. What is this, Samsung? I'll try the Samsung. I really don't like how these go in. That makes me, that gives me some concern regarding the board. Let's see, is that even in right? It's not easy to do. Let me try this one. Not sure which one I'm supposed to be using either. Okay. Just one continuous. Okay. See about continuing to test this here. I'm wondering if maybe it could be also this graphics card. I'm not positive, but I'll have to test this out some more. Okay, good news. Well, sort of. The computer is now finally fully operational. Let's see here. Pentium Pro at 200 megahertz. I have my oldest graphics card, personally, my oldest personal graphics card, I mean. GeForce 4 MX 440, I believe. I have that plugged into the machine. I just did it to test out to make sure it wasn't the graphics card that was failing, and it turned out it was graphics card. So far we have 3 sticks of RAM, no good, and 1 Matrox GPU that is no good. I'm kind of curious to what failed on this card here. I don't see any capacitors that I could test, but since this is a Pentium Pro, it doesn't have a MX support, that's it. So, I mean, it really wouldn't do me any good to use this card since, yeah, although this might do well on a Windows 98 machine, it won't really do me very well for this machine, so. Okay, right now I only have a floppy drive connected, and up there, on top of that busted monitor. Now that one I also had to test out. This is the first time I tested that out, and it works. So far, junk floppy drive, well, not really junk, I got a new old stock is good. Replacement RAM is good. Random CPU cooler I found, good. Old power supply is good. Old Pentium Pro I got for that was on eBay for gold salvage is good. Now I just have to apply thermal paste to that. So next I'll configure the drives, well, test out what drives I want on it, as well as additional cards. So making some progress here. Next up on our build test, I suppose you can call this, is this TIAC 5 1/4 inch floppy drive. Reading, okay, TIAC FD55BR. So far we are 1 for 1 on drives, so let's go ahead and test out this drive here as well. As you can see here, this isn't very ideal. It's supposed to mount underneath this bench here, but it really can only fit one 3.5 or one 5 1/4 inch and two 3.5 inch, and those are both 5 1/4 inch. That just did something. Let's see here. Okay. We are spinning. Floppy A installed. Okay. I'm fine with it being 1990. Oh, this is a very limited BIOS. Master. Interface. Oops, I don't want to do that. Floppy options. Let's give that. That's I'm not quite positive. I want 5.5 inch. I think. Let's see. Let's just see if it's can support that. Floppy drive B is a failure. Okay, so this floppy B is not installed. Okay, about 5 minutes after powering down, it just occurred to me that this might be a jumper deal, so fiddled with this a little bit. I hope that is the correct jumper. Floppy A, floppy B installed. Okay. Okay, let's hope this is correct. I definitely want the bootable one to be drive A. A is good, floppy B is good. Sometimes you just need to take a minute and a half to think, as it did not occur to me that these would be like CD-ROM drives, even though they're different, but it makes complete sense now. I just figured for some reason that you'd be able to configure it straight up in the BIOS, but when dealing with these old electronics, you have to remember about the fun of jumper settings, which honestly I kind of like, but only if I can remember them. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can boot. Okay, that's definitely B. Doesn't like B at the moment, so let's try a floppy disk. Spinning, and I hope I got the right settings here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not a... Look how small the shift key is. Let's see here. It's trying to read it. Zoom in there. Fail. I always love this with floppy disks. Alright, so this is a 360 kilobyte floppy drive. I have to do some major testing. The only game I know for sure that lists its the density of its disks is actually one of the bigger ones, though it won't run. That's Might and Magic 3. So I've got Knights of the Sky to test, and I've got quite a few disks here, so I'm hoping that this might match up that drive. Okay. Oh, big money. This is going to be one of the bigger problems I'm going to face, is that I have no idea if I have any 360 kilobyte floppies. So this, and also these floppies might not be any good depending on how they're stored, so yeah, this is going to be a tricky one. Okay, so the tally is so far, CPU is good, fan is good, 3 sticks of RAM bad, the replacement RAM is good, so we're already at a -1 there, I suppose. 1 bad graphics card, replacement on the way. Floppy drive is good. 5¼ inch floppy drive, unknown so far. I've got some 360K floppies that's incoming. I don't know when I'll get them, but I'll go ahead and test that when I can. Oh, the power supply is also good. And next we have a CD-ROM drive. Now this, you see it's got some rust on it. I'll have to clean that up at some point. This is a 2-speed CD-ROM from 1994. Let's see what we got here. March 94. This is made by NEC Corporation. Zoom in there. 2x speed. Okay, this test bench really isn't, well, with the cables I have, not the easiest to work with. In fact, it's supposed to tuck the drives under here, but again, it doesn't really give you much space to do that. Like one 5 1/4 inch and two 3 1/2 inch. So I've got those two drives stacked on top of that busted VCR, and on top of that busted LCD, which I'm planning on working on in a future project, is the floppy drives. That's interesting. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. Okay, so it looks like the CD-ROM drive does not work. So I want to open it up and see what's wrong with it. Get that. Interesting. Alright, so add that to the tally. CD-ROM drive does not work. 3 bad sticks of RAM and 1 bad graphics card. Wait till you see what I have planned next. Alright, check this out. I have a Spark drive. Alright, it's in a 5 1/4 inch caddy and all that fun stuff. I've never used one of these. I have heard that they are extremely unreliable, so it should be great fun. Right, just take a look at this thing here. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's what we got? Fremont, California. Do we have a date stamp? 1997 was copyrighted? Was this made in 97? Shoot. Alright then, let's plug it in, I guess, and hope for the best or the worst. I could go either way. Here's the disc itself. Well, not quite yet, but look at this warranty here. Now, I've never used anything quite like this. I've used a zip drive and zip disk before, but not like a removable hard drive. So my first idea was, since this computer would be good with 32-bit in theory, but doesn't have MMX, was to install multiple operating systems on it. I have one computer that has OS2 Warp 3, I believe, and it also has Windows 95 and MS-DOS 6.0, but that's as far as it could go. So I had the idea of putting multiple operating systems. So then I came across this. Now the sensible thing to do would be use a CF card, a compact flash card, which is what, if you like watch a lot of these tech videos online, you'll no doubt see that those are a good idea. I'm not looking for any good ideas. I mean, I got a 360K floppy drive and a 2-speed CD-ROM drive, but I just want to, I heard about these things, so I want to see if I can get what I was planning on doing with this thing, if I could just accomplish it this way rather than, so if this does work, this would be great for this build. The quality of this case is like bootleg or the sort of thing you'd find in an old movie rental place for their things. On the inside too, even. Let's take a look at this. I like the fact that it comes in the case, so that's nice. Let's see here, when was this made? It's looking like 97. Alright, let's go ahead and can I plug this in first, or where does it even plug in at? Is this the front? Huh. Okay. I do not have any bootable media in there. Oh, look at that! I'm feeling good about this. Which, do I just put this in there, like right now, or do I do it before I boot? I should have read the manual. I'm gonna do it before. Yeah, I'm gonna plug it in before. I'm not feeling too confident about this. I have no idea. Oh God, I don't like this. I'm not feeling too positive now about actually using this thing. So let me figure that out real quick. Okay, so I just jammed that in there. Okay. Oh, this is so horrifyingly exciting. Oh no! Okay, roadblock. Current fixed drives. No space. Okay. I'll have to try something else. Actually, maybe I'll try using this. See if this will create a 98. Okay, so it's looking more like these from 98. But yeah, I'll see if I can use this somehow. Scat prep. Oops. Okay. Really? Let's look here. Oh. Shoot. Huh? You know what? This is giving me an idea. Windows 95 likes this so much. Look at that. Alright, new plan. Okay, so I have Windows 95 on floppy disks. At least I hope it's all there, and I hope it still works, so let's have some fun, shall we? Looks like something down there is happening. Well, here goes nothing. This is why you want to have a working CD-ROM drive. So, funny enough, I did install OS2 this way on one computer. I did install since it came in about 600 floppy disks. So, why not try it with Windows? Let's do this. Oh no. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. So oddly enough, I think we might be able to add an operating system to the broken file in regards to this build here. After a few times of trying, I actually did get the setup floppy to work. However, it seems to want a to install to an actual hard disk, so I don't think this I can use this as a primary disk drive, at least not in Windows 95, so that's going to be another one to add to the maybe pile. So that's the 360K floppy and the Spark drive to the I guess unknown pile here. And this mostly, I mean, the amount of work I had to put in to just get the setup disk working. I'm also adding a bad OS to the busted pile. So 3 sticks of RAM, 1 graphics card, 1 CD-ROM drive, and 1 operating system not working. Alright, next up we have an old Mac Store hard drive. I believe this is 8 or 9 gigabytes. This was in a computer I had before. I ended up taking it out, and I remember having problems with this, so I was going to try to use this as a secondary hard drive, but I guess I might as well try to get it working as the primary one here, if it will work. So I'm going to go ahead and try to install Windows 98 on it and see what we get. Hey look, Adventure makes a comeback. I am determined to see what's wrong with this device, or if I can get it working. It refused to let me write Windows 98 to it. So great, I'm seeing a problem here already. Great. Well, you don't see that every day. Let's go into disk management and see if we can format into FAT32. Format. It's fine. I want FAT32. I wonder what that NQ whatever. I really should be. Let's delete the volumes. Disk 1, is that disk 1? Okay, so that max store looks like it was a 14.31 gigabyte. You know what, let's just keep it this way. I'll go and plug it back into the other computer and see what we get here. Oh my goodness, we're finally making some progress, possibly. Very much possibly. Oh, what? I don't have a boot disk. Oh. Formatting. Okay, the hard drive doesn't sound the prettiest, I can tell you that much, but a lot of these old hard drives sound crazy. So let's see what we got here. I also put in a plugged in an Acer mouse. So there we go. This is going to the Adventure right here. So okay, now we are going to go back and see if the spark drive works or not. It's not seeing the disk drive, even though I booted from the disk. Great. That's fantastic. Well, floppies in drive B. That's great. Duke Nukem. Okay, so Windows 98 I got working. However, the problem with the spark drive was that it wasn't getting power properly, so it wasn't working. I tried adjusting the power cable and get a little bit of spark to life, like basically, let me see if I can grab it here. There's an indicator right next to the, let me see if I can point to it. Right about there, you might be able to make it out. That's supposed to be flashing green for indication. it basically just wasn't doing anything. So there was some data sent back and forth, like it was showing up in the BIOS, and I got removable disk D, but nothing else beyond that. So final tally before I go on to diagnosing what's wrong with the various things is 3 sticks of RAM were bad, CD-ROM drive was bad, Spark drive was bad, Windows 95 was bad, the Matrox GPU was bad. However, the Pentium Pro was good, the fan was good, power supply was good, and the 3.5-inch floppy drive was good. An unknown regarding the 360K floppy drive. And for the test parts, those were good. I'm still not planning on using that Maxtor hard drive. I might use it for a backup, but I think I will, if I can't get the Spark drive working, I think I will go to a compact flash sort of solution here, just because I really want to hot swap operating systems. So next time I'll take a look at some replacement parts and open up the Spark drive and the CD-ROM drive to see if I can get a good handle of what went wrong.